Hiking the Amarmino. Hey, my name is Peter. I hike the tranquil trails of Denmark whenever I need a break from bustling city life in Copenhagen. This time it's just gonna be a short day trip. The Amarmino is a quick 27-kilometer hike in easy terrain. It's well known in Denmark for its varied landscapes and beautiful nature, while at the same time being located right next door to Copenhagen. This proximity to Denmark's biggest city also makes the trail a place of contrasts. I'll get to hike in lush forests, along rugged coastlines, and enjoy views over open meadows. But I'll never be far enough away to fully escape from the presence of joggers, bicyclists, and a bit of background noise from traffic. Nonetheless, the Amarmino receives high praise from all who try it, and I personally cannot wait to lose myself to the trail. Amazingly, the Amarmino is located just outside Copenhagen, only a short bus ride away. It was early, and I was sleepy. But as the urban landscape of Copenhagen gave way to fields and forests, I felt the excitement coming on. And here we are. This huge boulder says it all. The Amarmino, 27 kilometers from start to finish. Man, am I looking forward to this. And already, it's looking kind of beautiful. The bus had dropped me off in the very beautiful village of Dragør. Yellow houses, a bit of a tourist destination in its own right. I had no time for it though. The trail was calling. The first part was meadows, an easy hike, heading for the coastline. It wasn't long at all before the smell of the sea reached my nose. And something about that smell always makes me happy. Wow. Just take a look at this. Rugged coastline for as long as the eye can see. I've only done a couple of kilometers since leaving Dragør, and already this amazing view is accompanying me. Nature out here all by myself is just exactly what I came for. I started a bit early, so the sun was only just getting up. But it's out now, and it's looking to be a really hot day, and that kind of reminded me that I forgot to fill my water bottle this morning when I left home, so that was a really bad idea. But if you're gonna do that, then this is the right path for it, because although beautiful, it's not a true wilderness walk. I will constantly be close to civilizations, so I'll find water, I'm not worried. Wouldn't recommend it, but I'll manage. Soon after, I did in fact find civilization. Some very big and nice houses belonging to some very rich people, I'm sure. However, there was still no water in sight. And also, it would only be a few hundred meters before I left civilization behind me once more, as I entered the woods. Okay, I've been walking in these quiet woods for some time now. It's very serene. Few planes overhead, so it's not quite all the time. But I'm really losing myself. But now I've found something weird. Let's go look who it is sitting in here between the trees. Be quiet. I'm not sure who it is. Over there. Oh man. Hey mate. Wow. But you're not all that dangerous, are you? Okay, that was scary and fun, but I made it. I got away from the giant in the woods, and the trip continues. My encounter with the giant happened at about a quarter of the total distance behind me. I had also left the ocean behind me after spending most of the trip walking with beautiful ocean views. But now it was time for a change of scenery. I've lost myself in a a deep, quiet wood. It's called Kongelunden, which roughly translates to the King's Wood. No relation to Game of Thrones, but nonetheless. And other than a few planes passing overhead, as you might be able to hear, this is very deep, very quiet piece of woodland. It also has a bit of interesting history to it. Apparently there were pretty much no forest at all during the 1800s in this part of Denmark. Most of it had been cut down for agriculture or building ships for the wars against Sweden, I don't know. And then the king ordered that new forest be planted. And here, 250 years later, we are able to enjoy some of the pretty rare oak forest. After a while, the trees started to give way to open coastland, and then I saw the ocean once more. It's very windy here. I've come back to the coast. There's horses and cows grazing on the land side, and on the ocean side people are having fun with kite surfing. This beautiful rugged beach, well, the water's calling to me, but I'm not gonna swim today. But this is what it's all about. This is amazing. Once again I said goodbye to the ocean and entered a different kind of forest. Oh man, I've left the coast behind, but again the Amarmino surprises me with its amazing, incredibly varied nature. I've lost myself in this forest of birch woods. These birch woods, they are magical. I mean, they're not uncommon in Denmark, but when there are this many and the sunlight is coming through the canopies, the whole place just seems enchanted. It is beautiful, with more beautiful on top. Leaving behind the last of the birchwood trees, I'm now preparing for yet another change. Look at this. An amazing vista opens up. Dense magical forest gave way to the open meadows of Kalvebodfjellet. As I walked the endless gravel path across the meadows, I let my mind wander and took in the views. I'm no longer near the coast, nor am I walking in deep forests, but this wetland behind me, to both sides of me, this is exactly what I came for. This path just goes on, and it's really hot now. But what I'm really wanting to fight right now is the source of water. I still haven't had anything to drink, so that's a bit of drama for you right there. Remember to pack your water before you leave on a trip like this, especially on a hot day. Despite the lack of water, I had crossed Kalvebodfjellet and completed 2/3 of the total trip. Also, I had reached the coast once more. This was a bit more civilized than the rugged beaches that I had seen so far. I'm in a kind of Viking observation tower that someone has constructed. And it's extremely windy, so maybe you can't hear me at all. But I've left the endless meadows behind and I've reached the coast once more. This is different, it is more civilized. You can see the Copenhagen skyline in the distance. And behind me is the freeway, the main freeway out of Copenhagen. So that's part of the experience now, that is listening to the whirring of the cars in the background. But it's not too bad, I like this place. I'm actually in something called Byskoven, which means the city wood or the city forest. And though there's not much forest here, these are recently planted trees of a rare kind. That is to say, they almost don't exist anywhere else in Denmark anymore. It's amazing that someone has the energy, the money, and whatnot to create stuff like that. Done almost 20 kilometers. I've still had no breaks, nothing to eat, and the worst part, nothing to drink. But finally, I think I'm coming up on something that could be a toilet of some kind that might have drinking water. I really do hope so. This looks promising. I'll just check it out. Excellent. So refreshing. I really needed that. We're ready for the last stretch. I am walking next to the waters that lead into Copenhagen Harbour, and behind me is 2.5 kilometers of paved road with a huge crowd of cyclists, fellow hikers, joggers. Far too many people for my taste. While this is certainly a nice place and I would take this walk any day of the week, it's probably still my least favorite part of the Amarmino. Luckily, soon enough I found solace under the trees as I approached Amarfjellet. Taking a walk on the Amarfjellet is always a pleasure. I've done it many times and I always enjoy it. It's a beautiful place with lots of people because it's right next to Copenhagen, but nonetheless, it was a perfect final step for this trip. I've done it. Once I've crossed this bridge, I have finished 27 kilometers of Amarmino. I can see the boulder marking the start-finish line right ahead of me. It's been incredible. I want to do it all over again. There's just been so many highlights. In fact, it was all highlights. The deep forest, the coastlines, the open expanse of the Amarmino. It's been amazing. I got everything I came here to get. I'm now completely reset, ready to return to civilization. It's just one more thing I need to do, and that is find a beer and celebrate. And here we are. All done. Thank you, Amarmino.